I made a mistake, not the kind that shows up as a typo or a missed appointment, not the kind you shrug off and move past, a deeper one, the kind that slips in quietly and starts rewriting the ways you see yourself. As I've been walking forward through this process, trying to untangle ADHD related demoralization from my identity, I've been overwhelmed more than I expected. When overwhelm hits, it doesn't feel abstract, it feels physical. Like someone poured concrete around my feet and waited for it to harden. Like I can see where I need to go, but I cannot lift a single step to get there. Inside, I'm thrashing. I'm calling out. Sometimes I even ask for help out loud, but it's rarely heard the way I mean it. I feel like a ticking time bomb some days, my brain touching every corner of my life, affecting everything, while I just want to move forward. The phrase one step forward, two steps back feels accurate right now. It's like I lunged toward progress only to be dragged back to the starting line. The pistol fired. I moved, but apparently it wasn't time. And I am tired. Tired of failing. Tired of trying so hard. Tired of investing in everyone else before I ever invest in myself. Welcome back. Today I want to talk about the mistake, not the business ending, not the partnership dissolving, the internal mistake. But first, I need to tell you what happened. I've built two businesses in my life around someone else. Why would I do that? Because I didn't believe I could do it on my own. Because I loved someone deeply and wanted to help them become what I thought they were capable of being. I saw strengths. I assumed desire. I built an entire world around that assumption. I handed it over like a gift. And I worked myself to exhaustion trying to carry it so someone else could fly. It didn't work. He didn't want it. It failed. Again. When it ended this week, I felt like I was back at the beginning, back at the familiar place of collapse. And when I collapse, I do what I always do. I search. I consume. I dive into the information until I can make sense of what just happened. But this time I made a mistake. I read something that polluted my thoughts. In the last episode, I talked about guarding the messages we take in. I thought the content I found would help clarify things. I thought it would offer direction. Instead, it dismantled me. The studies were clinical, stark, heavy. They listed deficits, limitations, statistical outcomes, long term projections. It felt like reading a report about my own inadequacy. The message underneath it all: adults with ADHD are deficient. We struggle in almost every measurable category. We require extraordinary support to function. The examples were exaggerated, the generalizations sweeping. And yet, I believed it. Every self doubt I've ever carried rose to the surface. I can't maintain a job. I can't regulate myself. I can't manage money. I can't sustain relationships. I can't organize my life. I can't finish what I start. It felt as if an enemy I didn't know to watch for snuck up and clubbed me in the back of the head. And down I went. With most medical conditions, the research feels external. No one blames themselves for having cancer. No one reads oncology statistics and thinks, This is my moral failing. But ADHD is about the brain. There is no cure. And because it affects behavior, decisions, focus, follow through, it feels personal. Like if we just tried harder, like if we were disciplined enough, like if we were motivated enough. The data doesn't feel neutral, it feels pointed. And shame, at least for me, is daily. I wake up already behind, ashamed of yesterday, anxious about today. It's relentless. So when I read research that framed my brain as inherently impaired, I didn't challenge it. I absorbed it. That was my mistake. Here's the bright spot. Because my brain works the way it does, I can process information quickly. I can strip it down to its core. And what I realized is this: the research was measuring us against neurotypical. It cataloged where we don't match. It did not catalog where we excel. It didn't mention how we solve problems differently, how we operate in crisis with clarity, how we see patterns before others do, how we detect authenticity instinctively, how we create. It didn't measure optimism. It didn't measure imagination. It didn't measure innovation. I went to the bookstore yesterday looking for counterbalance. There was one shelf, half full, on neurodivergence, maybe 25 books. The sports section had thousands. That tells its own story. The business ending wasn't the mistake. Reading research wasn't the mistake. The mistake was letting someone who doesn't live inside my brain define its limits for me. The mistake was believing that because I struggle in systems designed for linear thinkers, I am broken. I am not broken. I make mistakes, but I am not a mistake. There is a difference, a significant one. I don't need to be managed into conformity. I need a world that makes room for minds like mine. And if that world doesn't fully exist yet, maybe it's something we build slowly, imperfectly, together. If you've read something that makes you feel defective, if you've internalized data as destiny, if you've believed you are less because you are different, pause, question the message, and then decide whether it deserves a space inside you. I'll be back soon. Until then, give yourself grace. You've been listening to Demoralized with Molly Kellogg-Schmauch.